With this video, let's begin a new section of the course in which we're going to talk about something really important, your tokens metadata. You might wonder, what is that? Okay, let's talk about what metadata for a token is. Metadata is on-chain information, meaning it lives in the blockchain, information about your token so that other programs and other websites can display the right information about your token, like using your logo, like using your name, like using a brief description so that it's more recognizable and has a little bit more trust than a totally blank token with no additional information other than price and symbol. It will just help all kinds of other websites who you want to display your token in the best possible way to display your token in the best possible way. It also gains trust from actual investors. So it's really useful and helpful. And as you might understand from the name itself, metadata, it's metadata, just descriptions about your token. It contains information like your token's name, description, logo, and a few other details. And it's structured in JSON, which is key value pairs. Let me show you how it looks like. If you've never seen JSON before, you would be like, wow, what is this? Yuck. It does look like yuck. But this is a standard format and its key value pair. For example, you can see the key is name, SPRK token, symbol, SPRK, description, we have a description, and so on and so on. You can see that image, okay, I have a logo. And when you can see that here, I have the URL for a logo. If I go to this URL, you can see that there's a logo there. So when this public URL is known, for example, I ultimately settled on hosting it on my own website so that I can always upload or change things as I want. Different websites, when they know to look here, to look at this URL, if I ever change anything about my token's metadata, like for example, instead of name, instead of SPRK token, which might be cryptic, I might just call it straight up Spark token, which is a little bit more interesting and easier to understand. Then I would have to change this file, and then all the different crypto websites that display information about cryptocurrency would ultimately browse here and pick up on this change. So I wouldn't have to go there each time to change things. So that's JSON. You can get AI to write this for you, which honestly, that's what I did. You can do this by hand as well. It's not too hard. Although today, why would you ever do this by hand when you have AI? So that's how JSON looks like. It's a little technical, but not too much. In any case, one really important note is that you set your metadata very early. As soon as you mint your token, in the same moment, you want to have your metadata ready. If you don't have it ready, if you set it later, it's not terrible, it's okay. But you should definitely set your metadata before you revoke mint authority, if you plan to revoke mint authority, because otherwise you may not later be able to create your metadata. Now you might ask me, what is mint authority? Your mint authority comes from the wallet that you use to mint your token. And what mint authority gives you is the ability to mint more tokens. So for example, if you have an investor and they bought at a certain price, if you have mint authority, you can mint more tokens. And if you mint more tokens, you're devaluating the tokens that your investors currently bought, which is a trust problem. So many tokens ultimately revoke mint authority to signal an extra level of trust to investors, that you just won't do like a rug pull. Oh, I'll print 100 more billion tokens, so I'm going to make the tokens of my investors worthless. So you can't do that when you revoke mint authority. It's a step you might want to do ultimately. But before you do that step, the one thing you do have to remember is that before you do that, make sure you set your metadata. Now, of course, set metadata earlier, but if you don't set it earlier, at least before revoking mint authority, because then you might run into real problems because you then won't be able to actually create new metadata. This is the one thing that may not be something you can fix after you've done it. That's why I'm harping on it so that you understand. Now, just a couple of words more on how this helps you. You see, you get trust and visual recognition when different websites can display your logo, can display a little bit more information about you. Suddenly the investors and anyone else looking at your token on other crypto websites can learn more about your token, can recognize it from website to website, and it will just help you gain investor trust and with that more investors. Now, you can grow your token without metadata, but it's much harder than growing it with metadata. So it's highly, highly recommended that you set your metadata.